This is not my neck. Yeah. Anyways, maybe that is my second slide. So let me say a little bit about my history. One slide is missing. I don't know where it went. But I'm trying to make the path for you a straight line, okay? And not like what you saw. For you and others, that's what I'm trying to achieve. Probably not a straight line like a straight line that we know, but a little bit smoother than what I went through. So this is my path. I'm going to be very brief. If you have any questions, ask me at the end. Just keep noting the questions down, and then I'll give you time to ask questions. So for those who don't know, my background is medicine. I graduated at Muhimbili University in 2005. And my passion was to become a pediatrician. I love children a lot. So that was my passion. A pediatrician, for those who are not in a medical field, it's ni daktari wa watoto, just in case you don't know. Then when I completed my internship at Muhimbili, I did my bachelor at Muhimbili and then my internship the next year in 2006, January to December. I completed my internship at Muhimbili, then I went to work in a rural district hospital in Korogwe, Tanga region. And that's where I wasn't sure. I became unsure whether I wanted to be a doctor anymore. So when I went there, there was a position in a study which was looking for a study physician for a trial that was looking at the alternative treatment for severe malaria among children, under 5 children. And for me, I applied for that because it was aligning with my passion of becoming a pediatrician. So I was going to work in a pediatric ward, but this was in a rural setting. But my experience there is what made me change my mind. I'm going to give just 2 examples, and some of them, they make me very emotional because I couldn't take things that many people were able to take on a daily basis. So while at Muhimbili National Hospital, when a child came, was unable to breathe, there were machines to have them breathing. The power was there. When you needed blood, you couldn't get it. And in a medical field, things like those means a lot. Between the, life and death. If a child is not breathing and you put them on a breathing machine, it saves lives. But if the machine is not there, they die. You watch them dying. There are doctors here, they know. If a child comes with severe anemia, which is a low blood level, if you give them blood, they wake up and it's like a miracle. But when I went there, my experience was at this district hospital in a rural setting, I could have a child who was having severe pneumonia, we call it, unable to breathe, on a machine, and then the power went off, and then the generator was not working. So I used to stay with an ambubeg. This is a manual breathing equipment, like sweating. If I touch the pulse, the child is still breathing. And then I was pumping, and the nurses are used to that. They'll say, "Doctor, just leave it." I'm like, "No, I can still feel the pulse." Until when the child dies. And then I had a little baby, a girl, a beautiful girl of my own, around 2 years. It was around 1.5 years then. And then I considered every child in the world as mine because I just couldn't take it. There were children who needed blood, and they were coming with severe pneumonia, coming from rural areas remotely. They are late, and the place is endemic for malaria, and I wanted to give blood, and then you go to the blood bank. They say they have no blood. You pay someone to go and donate. They say there are no blood bags. One example that was like a turning point for me is when a child died on my hands. So there was a mission hospital nearby. They had better services. So this time I remember this beautiful girl. She was around 5 years. She came with a grandmother, and I knew that if I gave blood, I could save her life. So I went, and they say there were no blood There was no blood. I paid somebody, a relative who came to see another patient, and they say there were no blood bags. I took that guy in my car. I took the child in my car and the grandma to the mission hospital with the hazards, rushing the child. We went to the mission hospital. I didn't know the hospital. That was my first instance, and this guy knew. We reached there. They gave us a bed. I was wearing my white coat and my stethoscope. They didn't know I was a doctor for the first time, but when they saw that I was in a uniform, they supported me. They gave me a bed in a pediatric ward, and then they rushed this guy to go and donate blood in their bank. And the time the blood came, I was putting it, 2 drops, the child collapsed. And the nurses there, they felt very sorry because I went by the side, I started crying. I couldn't leave the body there because the child was not admitted in that hospital. So I took it back to my car, drove with the grandmother. They usually carried the dead bodies on their back because they could not afford transport, so they had to pretend as if the child was alive because they were not allowed also to carry dead bodies in public transport. So I supported her, gave her money, and then she put the granddaughter on her back into the public transport. I went back to work. I couldn't, went back home, and then I was like, I'm not going to keep doing this anymore. It's not for me. But this is what many doctors are going through in many other hospitals in rural areas, in such a way that they are used to it. You know, death is like normal. So then I started, and making the story short, this is when I decided that I'm going to invest in supporting evidence to inform improvement of healthcare system. So what I'm doing, I'm not doing it for money. I'm not doing it just to, I'm doing it because for me, it's very, very personal. So this is why when it comes to supporting quality evidence, I am very serious. So I tell my team usually, we joke a lot, but when you do something in the field, you are here and you are not serious. You go there and start entering data. It's like the data we are collecting is supposed to inform improvement of programs that a lot of countries are paying for. These are people's taxes. They are paying to help. And the data we are collecting is supposed to inform improvements. So if you don't collect high quality data, it means you are letting everybody down because whatever they're doing, that doesn't make sense. You won't be able to tell whether what they're doing is working, whether you are reaching the people that you want to reach, what they think about the interventions, and whether things are working the way they should. So this is why I initiated this program, because I wanted to first support capacity building so that other people or other young people, to be specific, who are the focus for this program, can also join my mission of supporting high quality evidence generation, because I knew that I cannot do this alone. So you are among those people who are going to be supporting this mission that myself and my team are trying to achieve. So that was just a short history. And now career, now how did I get where I am today? So while I was still working there, I went there in 2007. So the history I told you, it was for around 1 year. Around 2008, in May, I remember I made a decision to apply now for a master's program. Now, not as a pediatrician, but in public health, or something that can actually facilitate what I wanted to contribute to, which is generating high quality evidence. So I applied for a master's in international health and public health as well. And I applied in 2 colleges, London School of Asian Medicine and Bergen University. Both were giving full scholarship. One was, it was a sandwich. That means it had, part of it was online, distant learning, and then you go there just for a few in-person sessions or classes. And the other one was full physical. You have to be there. So I got both. I was lucky to get both scholarships. You know how hard it is, and I'll tell you why I got both. And then I chose the one that is fully residential, which was Bergen University. And while I was there, and it was full funded, while I was there was an opportunity to switch from a master's program to a PhD, which I applied for during my second year of master's, and I got accepted. It was highly competitive. I did not have the criteria that they wanted. I didn't have a full contract. They wanted people who were working in public institutions. I wasn't, because my contract was just for a study, and I terminated it before going, because they wanted to support public institutions and not individuals. So I did not qualify. They wanted someone who had a supervisor. I didn't have one because I was not from a university. I was told to come and ask for a supervisor. I went to Muhimbili. There was one professor I went to. He said, "What is there for me? Wanalipa, are they paying?" I said, "No." Maybe publishing. He said, "Sorry, I'm not interested." So I went through the program without a local supervisor, which is not how it's supposed to be done. I completed my PhD in 2012, 2013, come back in country. As I told you, I didn't have a full-time employment, so I came back and I had to start all over with my PhD, and I went to volunteer at Muhimbili Center, which is one of the, how do I call it? One of the centers for the National Institute for Medical Research. It has centers in different regions. So Muhimbili is one of the centers. So I went and volunteered there, and the person who linked me there is my supervisor in Bergen University, who was doing some research studies with the center. So he recommended me. I spoke to the director, and he managed to absorb me there. And while I was working at Muhimbili NIMRI, National Institute for Medical Research Center, after 6 months, I was volunteering with my PhD and master's. I went for master's in international health, and then I switched to a PhD in health systems. I graduated in 2012, 2013, in the beginning when I had my graduation, but I finished in 2012. When I came back, I started working like you guys with a PhD. I was being sent to the field, volunteering, being sent to the field. I was being paid allowances at Muhimbili. But around 6 months, I was given a consulting opportunity that came from Family Health International. So the director trusted me and told me, "Catherine, there is this opportunity which I think you can do." And I told him I've never done anything in this area. It was to support national family planning research agenda. I was supposed to work closely with the Ministry of Health and all the national, international NGOs who are supporting family planning program in Tanzania to see the gaps for evidence for the family planning program. I have not done anything in, do we have the people from other countries? Or have we lost them? They're there, okay, that's good. So yeah, I told the director that I am not able to do this. I have not done anything like this before. And because I was afraid of taking that risk, you know, getting into such a high level assignment with my limited experience. But he told me, "Catherine, you can do it. I've seen what you're doing, and I know you can do it." I said, "Okay." So then they wanted to improve my CV so that they can share it, you know, in an African way. I'm sorry, I'm saying this on live. I forgot I'm on live. Oh my God, I forgot I'm on live. So yeah. So yes, just to showcase some of the things that I have done, but unfortunately, by the time I was asked to improve my CV, the director for the Family Planning, Family Health International, already got my number. I don't know from where, because they had recommended me, and he called me and asked me to send my CV and meet him in person. So I already shared my CV as it was, and so I couldn't share the CV that I was supposed to share. And I went there. I met this was a white man. He's very nice, Dr. Eric Van Prague. He has been very supportive as well towards my career. And I went there and I told him, I have not done this before. I cannot lie. However, if you trust me, I'll do it. He went to his shelf, took a bunch of books on family planning, gave them to me, including reports for the national level, and I read. And guess what happened? To make the story short, can I have the slides? That assignment got me a Young Scientist Award, which I had no experience for. And the Young Scientist Award was the beginning of everything that I'm doing today. So I had the opportunity to present the agenda at the National Family Planning Conference at Mlimani City in a plenary session, which was big for me. You know, a plenary session, for those who attend conferences, that's where everyone attends. They usually have side parallel sessions where people choose which room to go. But then you have plenary sessions where if a conference is for 500 people, everyone is there. And that's where I presented the agenda. I remember going with my car at Cocoa Beach and practicing the presentation. Everything was here. I practiced. I didn't read the slides because Kiswahili, for the international participants, forgive me, niliona hiyo ndio nafasi ya kutokea. So I made sure I used it. I remember there was this guy who came from the WHO who was attending, and he told me, I will hire you on the corridor. You did very well, and I will hire you. But of course, we didn't get in touch later. But he was that motivated. And there was a lady, I was going to the toilet and said, you're just starting, I think you're going to go very far. There was a lady I was working with at Family Health International on that assignment. She was based in the US. Her name is Christine Lasway. And they gave me an office, by the way. Later in the assignment, the contract with NIMRI ended, and they did not want to extend with the institution. So they wanted to hire me as a consultant to finalize the assignment. The director was not very happy, but then I ended up taking the opportunity at an individual level decision. And I was given an office at Family Health International, and I was working with this lady I'm telling you about. She's Tanzanian, but she's based in the US. And I remember her statement was, Catherine, if you continue like this, you're going to be a hot cake in Tanzania as a consultant, because there are very few people who work like you. I remember all those words. And I'm sharing those words with you because that's what it takes to get where you want to be. And these are things that I'm going to share in the afternoon session. So at the conference, international organizations attended. I gave a presentation that people appreciated. I received a Young Scientist Award to recognize me. And guess what happened after that? I started receiving emails and calls to support other consulting opportunities. I did not know even whether consultancy exists when I was coming back from my training. I didn't know that was an option. I knew I would work at NIMRI as a scientist or be hired somewhere. I did not like to teach, so teaching at the university was the last option. Not because I don't like teaching, I'm teaching now, because I don't like marking exams, to be specific. So I can teach as much as I don't mark exams. So, yeah. So then I got assignments and recommendations for other assignments from clients. They usually give references when somebody's looking for a consultant. And in 2014, because the family planning, National Family Planning Research Agenda was launched in 2013, the conference. In 2014, I was already working as an independent consultant. Then I started to register CSK together with another colleague. And then this was my first office. You can see there's a plastic chair. I was alone. It was a room. But that picture, I bought it the first day I sat there. I still have it in 2014, and I have a date behind it. That's the first day I registered CSK. And by now, you can see the clients we saved under CSK. It's more than that. And now we are approaching 35 international organizations that have worked with us, and we are getting new organizations every day, including this year. We actually got another new client, Kamba Collective. Yes. So clients keeps referring each other. And the time we started, there were only 3 people. Can you stand up? It was Isabel, Richard, who was the first driver. We are still together today. So the 3 people that started CSK are in this room today. It was me, my assistant. I used to call her personal assistant. Now she's a consultant. And she's amazing. She's amazing, really. You are all amazing. Irene, don't feel jealous. Your time is coming. Yeah, so she's like a person who made me think about trying to help other young people to be like her, because I saw it's possible. Now she's handling assignments by herself while I'm sleeping. And she went even faster. She started, you came in after like 3-4 years, and I'm just amazed by what happens when you support people, and I love to see more people, being like them. It's very, so yeah, then we started expanding. As you guys can see, it's getting better. I'm gonna skip a lot of that, and let's go now to what it takes now. In the next like 10 minutes, I'm going to share now what mattered at each stage until where I am today, where I am being called to all these big assignments. And there are several things. The first thing was, if you remember, I told you the PhD that I was recommended to. First, I got admitted to 2 universities. There was a reason for that. That was the first phase of my career. I got very strong recommendations from both the principal investigator for the study that I was supporting at Korogwe. He was a white guy. He's called Lorenz von Seidlen. And he used to find me in the ward, like pushing to save lives, while supporting the clinical trial. And when I asked him, he was sad that I was leaving, of course, because the trial was ongoing by the time I was leaving. But he wrote me a very strong recommendation letter for both universities. And then I also had a strong recommendation letter from some people knows from Muhimbili, Dr. Professor Bakari. He was my supervisor at Muhimbili University for my research activity. So 2 strong recommendations. You don't get strong recommendations out of blue, I can assure you. And they matter a lot. The people I recommend for the master's programs and jobs, there's a huge chance of getting selected because people know me. If I write a strong recommendation, it's very easy for you to be absorbed because of their reputation. It's true. I'm going to say things that are a little bit uncomfortable to say about myself because it sounds like I'm ringing my own bell if they say that. But I have to tell you because I want to see you guys where I am and beyond. So you need to shine wherever you are to get a strong recommendation. Whoever has a reputation in the field, whoever has a good profile will never write a strong recommendation for somebody who he or she knows will not perform, because that will also affect his or her reputation. And I'm in that category. So when I write something, I have to mean it. If I don't have something good to write about you, I won't. And I'm sure you all understand. So the recommendations got me to master's program at once. But then volunteering at NIMRI when I came back, no, for the PhD, why was I admitted while I did not have the qualifications that were needed? It's because the supervisors saw the passion. They saw me that I wanted to do something with the PhD, with the study. And by the way, I went back to the same place to study the issue that I faced while I was working there. There was one supervisor. The trend in international universities, usually they use students to support their own researchers in African countries. So there was one supervisor who wanted to be part of supervising me because he wanted me to support his ongoing study here in Tanzania. I refused. I said, I'm sorry, but I want to go back and study this issue. And he withdrew. So I got another lady. So sometimes also you have to be very firm to do what you want to do. And trust me, people who understand, they will support you if you have a good cause. And this is something very important in your careers as well, because I also got a lot of, I've been offered a lot of positions as a monitoring and evaluation director in the NGOs that have been supporting, but at times I have been saying no, because I knew what I wanted to do. So learning to say no is extremely important. What I've seen, people, they lose path because they're always being pulled, running for every opportunity that comes on their way. At the end of the day, it's 5, 6, 10 years, and you are nowhere. Today you are here, tomorrow you're pushed here. The other day somebody gives an opportunity, you accept it. It's very important to know what you want to do. And that's why, if you remember, we had that question as well. You all remember, we wanted to be sure that people who are in this program, they know what they want to do. You can change though. It's fine, you're already in. But at least you convinced us. So volunteering as well. So I got admitted because I convinced the supervisors they could see the passion. But when I came back, the other important part that got me where I am today is being able to make the most of, in particular, especially the first opportunity that you get. If you already know where you want to go, and then you have an opportunity that you think will get you where you want to go, just make best use of it. There were a lot of sleepless nights because I had to study. The activity, I had to learn a lot, prioritizing. And by the way, there's something I love sharing in relation to that assignment. As part of the assignment, I had to lead this prioritization activity because there were a lot of, evidence gaps, and we had to prioritize and come with an agenda, the top priorities for research. And we had to do a meeting in Bagamoyo, which I was leading as a consultant, where country directors for NGOs attended. They sent the research directors. And I remember I was in the room. It was my first big assignment. And the time for starting, it was time for starting the meeting, and I was sitting somewhere, and people were asking, where is the consultant? And when I stood up, people were like, what? Nobody knew me then. And I used to look smaller than I am. Nimepata mwili nao kidogo. So yes, it's not about your size of your body, your size of how you look. It's what you deliver at the end of the day. So then I ended getting up the Young Scientist Award, and I started working with most of those organizations that were there in the room on that day. And it was a challenge, I was told. Somebody was in a panel, they were asking why her. She just came. There were a lot of people who have been supporting research for family planning, including at the National Institute for Medical Research itself. But people were like, she has to get the award. And it was the first conference for family planning. So you need to have the exceptional performance, to be somewhere, just to push the limits. So let me leave you time to enjoy the music. I've been talking too much. My slides are not moving. Technology. I feel like I've said most of what I wanted to say, though. Are there any quick questions? Participants from other countries as well, please feel free to type the questions that you have. And maybe Isabel, you can help me to read them loudly. Thank you. So today I have supported with my team several large evaluations of donor-funded programs. This one was there. I presented this report when we were launching the first batch. I haven't changed the slide, but there are several reports now. I won't go in details for CSK today, and these are the why. Yeah. All these I'm going to talk about in the afternoon session. Or is it already afternoon? Yeah. All of this we are going to talk about in the afternoon session. So don't worry. How you manage to maintain performance, get more recommendations. Is this the right slide? Okay. So everyone can do what I did. This is what I want to conclude by saying to you all here and all those who are outside Tanzania, everyone can do what I did. And you guys, I think, can do better. When I was studying, now it's more than 10 years I'm working as a consultant. A lot have changed in terms of access to knowledge. There's no an excuse. You don't have any excuse to be where I am and beyond. Anything you can learn, information is now at the tip of your finger. So, and we will be there, myself and my team, to help your career path be a little smoother. I remember I said Irene got where Isabella got quicker. And I think you guys are going to be even more faster because we keep learning and we have been designing ways of making research easier. And that is one of my personal goals. When you talk to medical students or other college students, they hate research, they think it's hard. But these are things we do repeatedly, and I realized that you can actually streamline the process and make it easier. And we have actually started doing that for qualitative studies. We have a way that we do it, and it's very easy. You can write a high-quality report, design a high-quality study very easily. And qualitative studies are more difficult, actually, than quantitative. So we started with qualitative, and we are going to also design the same mechanism for quantitative. And this is what happened, by the way. If you do more, you get more clients. I remember at CSK at some stage before COVID, we were, rejecting some of the activities. Now we are choosing at times because it's also important. You can't do everything. And this is one of the biggest mistakes for consultants. They take more than they can handle. And then you produce poor quality work. But that's a discussion for another talk, So this is a summary of the program goals and objectives. We want to provide mentees with the research technical skills. So we'll give you the skills that we have acquired until to date, both technical and non-technical, okay? But we want to make sure that we support you to become highly qualified technically, but not only that, also give you the soft skills that are needed for you to be professional. And some of the things, they are common, but not that common. And we are going to speak about that in the next session. We want to contribute to career development in research. So those who want to become researchers, we already see there are people who are working as research in research positions. But also we want to support job creation in the research industry. And this is very important because you guys want to practice what we are going to be teaching you. And among the ways to do that, we are currently investing in social media to market our team. Probably you guys have seen that. And this is why we asked some of you, whether you're on LinkedIn. It's strategic, not for us, it's for the team. If we don't have enough activities, you won't be able to practice the skills. So let me use this opportunity also to encourage you to make sure that you like, share, comment, so that people can see that you exist. And then if we get more opportunities, that means you guys also are going to be able. Am I? Okay, I'm allowed to say this. Practice the skills that you're going to be gaining through the program. Yeah. So the program, the way it is designed, we have a question here, I'll read it. The way it is designed, we are going to start with the basic research skills, which are just research ethics. One of my colleagues will say something about that in a moment. Basic communication skills, time management, but these are all going into, these are the soft skills. Above, usually are the soft skills, and I'm trying to remember my diagram. My schedule has been crazy, and I can't read that slide. So So we do have the first level, which is a level research assistant. I'll try to read anyway, the way it is, where we train you guys in simple things like data collection, which is interviewing skills, both qualitative and quantitative. We train you in transcription, translation, and the other one is data entry for studies that collect data on paper. So that's most of our mentees, they came into the program at that level. They just knew how to collect data. But then the next level, which most of our mentees are now, is the intermediate level, which is a junior research consultant. Now we take you to a level of field supervision. Instead of just being a data collector, you can supervise and coordinate field activities, coding, simple data management activities like coding, and then, can we mute everyone? Coding, and then we expose you to simple report writing, which is, the simpler one is qualitative. I said it's difficult. I have a reason for that, but it's easier also to... I can mute everyone here. Oh, if I mute everyone, I mute myself as well. Oh, okay. So, and the senior level, senior consultants, which very few mentees manage to get, but everyone can, at least in 1 year. It's a bit hard. So you need to extend, and we support people to that stage. That's when you write highly technical reports for mixed studies, for example. Involving quantitative and qualitative data, like they do in program evaluations. And also writing proposals for research consultancies, supporting things like dissemination activities, So as we said, there are people who asked how long the program takes. It's 1 year. We are designing it as a 1-year program. And in 1 year, we are sure that at least all of you are going to go to the intermediate level. The senior level may take more time because it's more technical. Some may get there in 1 year. It may take longer for others. But once you're with us, we'll keep supporting you. Even if we take another batch, like we still have mentees from the previous batch who have not been trained on some things, but we are doing things differently under this batch to make sure that we move together and we move faster. So let's see how far we are going to get. But we hope that you are all going to go to the senior level. I'm not very fond of these slides, the technology, because you can't read. I cannot read my own slides now because zimezibwa kidogo. So yeah, communication of research findings, like supporting presentations of evaluation studies, like what Isabel and Irene did recently. And yeah. And then some people were asking how we evaluate. I'm trying to preempt everything. I was doing 1 hour and it looks like it's important to have 45 minutes. I'm trying to go fast. So you'll be evaluated for every assignment that you undertake under this program. And this time we are having even more stricter criteria because we want people to trust the people who go through this program. So we want to have the CREMES, like the name says, CREMES. It's a Center for Research Mentorship and Support. That's the longer term in case you didn't know. But CREMES also means, you know, the milk, the cream is on top. So you guys are CREMES. I want to make sure that people take you that way. So we are going to have very strict criteria for moving from one stage to another. So for every activity, we have a form that your supervisors will be filling to assess your performance. And we must say that automatically best performers may get more assignments because we want to stay in the market. So if you are producing lower quality deliverables, including especially in the program under the assignments, when we review, we usually give assignments for actual field activities or study activities to those who deliver high quality work and timely. So if you want to be engaged in actual research activities, make sure you attend the training and get the basic skills, and then when performing any assignment, you aim for the best quality and then deliver the assignment on time. So this is it. Time management, punctuality. When we go to the field, attention to details, but all of these, as I said, we have a different session for that. So this is the ultimate goal. We want to be the cream of research in thank you. We want to be the cream of research, not only in Tanzania, but also in Africa. Okay. We are hoping to achieve that together with you guys. And the people in other countries, you can hear me. You are going to represent CREME and be the creams of research in your own countries. And you are going to be representing us in your countries as well. So the plan, the goal is to be able to also recommend clients, most of whom are working in other countries as well. And this is why we are expanding the program to other countries. We have been asked several times by our clients whether we have teams in other countries. And this is what we are trying to achieve by recruiting other countries. Yes, I managed to do the presentation in 45 minutes. Yeah. I allow questions. And before I allow you to ask questions, let me read a question from Otieno John. This seems is from Kenya. this name is from Kenya. So Otieno asked, apart from the doubts about you during the awards, are there other challenges you faced? Maybe gender challenges, being a driven African woman. Okay. Gender challenges. No, I don't remember facing any gender-related challenges. At least not in the countries where I went for my training, because they are very developed, and gender issues are not that they're almost not there. Frankly speaking, I don't remember any gender-related challenge while I was studying. While I am working, nothing on top of my head. Maybe I'm ignorant. I'm sorry, I cannot make anything right now. If it happened, maybe it was something very simple. So thank you for the question. Another question is from Viola Kageha. I'm not sure where this is from as well. What are some of the challenges you experience when creating CSK on the technical assistance perspective? On the technical assistance perspective. Did you copy the question as it is? Kuna mtu anaweza kunitafsiria? Anybody can explain this?
I think she means on the part of expertise, that is a means of technical assistance in doing your work.
One thing that I can comment on, I know several of you said they wanted to start a firm, and I encourage you to do that. We would love to collaborate with you in your own fields, because we are mostly knowledgeable in the public health area. And that's why we are recruiting people in other fields, so that we give them skills, they start their own firms, and then we collaborate with people that we have trained. So this is partly answering her question, because this has been our limitation. The technical assistance perspective is very important. It has been very hard for CSK to work with just anyone, and this is something that has slowed us down in terms of expanding. And this is why we also started the mentorship program, because we know that if you give work to just anyone in our African setting, it's very risky. You can easily get out of the market. And this is part of the course that I'm going to give online. Many people have been asking me similar questions, and I've created a course that I'm going to share, but it's high level. So you guys are going to learn in action. Those outside the program, they'll have to changia my time. Kidogo. Yeah, so yeah, technically, we mostly were in control. So we had senior consultants who were designing everything and using data collectors who we capacitated to do more. And we have been in control of the quality, and that's why we got where we are. We don't delegate just by doing that, because it's a challenge. Can I allow a question from here before we read a question from other countries? I know people have questions. Reactions, comments. Microphone, kuna mtu anaweza kupeleka microphone? Najua we have more than one.
Thank you, madam, for your inspirational speech. As you have told us, I think you are in a good way, so that we can, as we are in a safe nest, from having this, what you will feed us, we will start to fly high. Yeah, as you have told us your journey, but I didn't see if there is other your competitors in this research field. Maybe I will be very interesting to know your competitors and how you overcome those whatever they have, so that I can be also aware on that. Thank you.
I'll answer that question very quickly. Competitors, right? In the market, there are too many. Oh my God, there are too many consultants. I must warn you, too many, way too many. And consulting firms, there are so many. However, you can compete by maintaining quality and keeping timelines. When you promise you're going to do something and deliver it on a certain date, it's not easy. You do it exactly what you promised. You deliver. There are ways of doing that. I learned through the process, and it's what I'm going to share in my first course on consulting from the 27th. You guys are going to learn in the next session in the afternoon a summary of it. It's not easy, but it can be done, especially in the consulting world. A lady now. Baraka, usinichukie, itarudi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Catherine, for the inspiration. The journey is beautiful. I'm so much inspired.
Thank you.
But just one thing I want to ask you. If you are asked to change one... If we are asked to change one thing, what do you think you will change? Maybe were there any regrets in your journey? Can you share a little bit about that? Thank you.
That's a big question. Probably, if I changed anything, I wouldn't be where I am. That's how I can answer it. I strongly believe, at least for myself, every decision I do is what got me where I am today. And I usually do decisions on every scenario, if it's for the career, which we are talking about here, because I already know where I want to go, then every decision I do is in line with that. So I do not feel there is anything I could change career-wise. No. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to think really hard. I think the path I took was supposed to be that way. Yeah. Thank you for the question, though. Hope I didn't disappoint you with the answer.
I don't have a question, but the presentation was so emotional. And, I know a lot of us were passing a lot different challenges, and we are lacking a person who can hold our hands and show us where to go. I never thought there are still good people like Dr. Catherine who can help people, especially young, to achieve their dreams. We have a lot of dreams, but sometimes we lack where to go, where to start. But having someone who can show you just go this way is a very good opportunity. So I really thank you, and we promise you we will be fully consistent. In research, consistency, hard working is very important. So I believe being mentoring with Dr. Catherine is a good opportunity to us, and it's a time for us to show what we have, what we can provide, what we can offer, so that we can ensure Tanzania and whoever is institution who is in the position of making decision in Tanzania, in citizens in Tanzania, are using research as a tool to help them to make informed decision with which show exactly what is happening in the society. So having all of us as researchers, I see a sustainable Tanzania with good, doing sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you. Well said. Thank you. While you guys are still thinking, let me read a question from Shelley Ngugi from Kenya. Could you highlight how those who are not in Tanzania will go about field work? Yeah, Shayla, there are people who ask me this question. So the camera is here, so the people who are seeing me, I'm facing them on the screen and then I'm facing my back. Technology. So several people outside Tanzania asked me this question when I gave them time to ask a question during the interviews, and probably they asked you too, because we split the people. We did the interviews for people outside Tanzania individually. You guys, you were facing a panel. For them, it was different. So I'm gonna answer your question as follows. We understand that your experience might be a bit different because you are not in country. The team here, mentees here, will get a chance to support our research activities, and we actually don't work with people outside the mentorship program because we want to make sure that we work with you first. So you are going to be the ones supporting our actual research activities. Now, for the people outside Tanzania, what we are trying to do is link them to clients outside Tanzania. Most of the organizations, as I said, to my knowledge, they have multi-country studies. Even recently, I was supporting a study by MasterCard Foundation. It's in Kenya, not even in Tanzania. And I was working with 2 consultants in Kenya with an UK-based consulting firm. So I was the only consultant in Tanzania. And they were recruiting people to support data collection as well on the ground. And such opportunities in future would be for the people in the program that are not in Tanzania. So the people who are in other countries, we also encourage you to be active on LinkedIn. Yesterday at the event that I attended, Women in Management Africa, they talked about the power of social media. I learned late. Maybe that's something I could change. I learned really late. When we launched the first batch, we were not online. I remember we started a LinkedIn account and other social media. LinkedIn account, to be specific, because the Instagram was just last December. So like a year after a program, can you imagine? And this is something that we were not aware of. It's very powerful. I've been asked by a few people in universities to recommend some of the data collectors, and I think that is going to be even more, that's what we want to see happening. People coming to CREMES to request for research assistance to support their studies because they trust you guys. But they won't do that. Kama mmeka kimya, you are quiet and not showing up when we put on posts. We'll be very creative to find ways of engaging you so that you can be seen on social media that you exist. So for the people outside Tanzania, please use this opportunity as well. Say that you're from Kenya, you're part of these comments there. Let people see you, and what we are going to do is just recommend you to our clients who are doing studies in your countries. That's the best we can do, but there will be assignments we can create for you guys to do as part of the mentorship individually.
for you, for your dream, with your view and the mission to actually register this organization. And I was just asking myself, you have answered my question, the issue of responsibility for the consumer but I can assure you that I believe that God can still restore your impact from this short period of time using His website. And another thing that I wanted to add, you have influenced me a lot of even success story, and I witness it has empowered me as I know that even if we have limited knowledge in some areas, we believe that we can actually sense and passionate about what we're doing. Thank you very much, Lord bless you.
Thank you. I appreciate your
I was just saying, just to echo my friends, thank you very much for sharing my story. It has really inspired us, and particularly for me, I just needed to hear this, especially when I did like this today. So it means a lot. There's something I'm getting out of what you're saying is a word called value, just our values. What are our values and how we should
Nigeria. It's one of these countries, Senegal. And I have been contacted by senior researchers from multiple countries who are seeing the program online. And this is the power of social media, who are asking how we can collaborate. So please, we are going to maximize that by linking senior researchers who are already having activities in other countries to work with the people that we are training through the program. We have not collaborated with other senior researchers because of the same concern about the quality, because we were not sure we'd be able to take in the quality. I think you asked an important question that probably you guys may not be full aware. You are not full-time in the program. You are allowed to work with any other entity, either through our recommendation or the jobs that you apply on your own. However, if we have an assignment, we will advertise the group, or we will pick people based on who haven't gone to the field or supported an activity recently. But that does not limit you to work with other entities. Regarding controlling or quality assuring your performance, we are only going to do that if the client gets you the works. For the clients that you are going to access yourself, we are not exclusive. And this is what we encourage to go through us to get you knowledge. But I can assure you, if you commit and show, I usually encourage you to write slash whatever your position title is on LinkedIn slash MT CREMES Research Mentorship or MT CREMES Mentorship. By showing that and commenting, somebody may reach out to you directly on LinkedIn, because there are people who are doing what they do, but they want to be more personal, so they may contact you directly. But that's the idea, because we want you guys to be let me thank you. We might take the whole day. We are not that much above the time. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. This was an important session. I think other things we're going to keep learning. So thank you for all the questions and thank you for the positive feedback. I'm happy to hear that you got motivated. We are looking forward to implement the things that I shared together in the program. Thank you.
Okay, so we're still being chased by time. Time is chasing us. But there was something that we wanted to have a bit of an interactive activity. Like we said, you have a group of mentees from, how many countries is that? 6 countries, right? We've only been hearing voices from Tanzania. Sorry, our international mentees, we couldn't even hear your voices when you were asking questions. They had to be written down. So why not just give them a chance? Let's hear at least 1 or 2 voices from our international mentees. We sort of had an idea to have a bit of a game. Hot chairs, you can see it in the agenda. So we thought, okay, why don't Tanzanian mentees meet Kenyan mentees and also meet Nigerian mentees, and Ugandan mentees, and Ethiopian and Rwandan. So what we're going to do is, we're going to put 1 country in the hot chair, and all the other countries can ask the Tanzanian, for example, let's say with Tanzania on the hot chair. Other mentees from other countries can ask any question with regards to Tanzania, Tanzania as a country, Tanzania as a place to learn, anything about Tanzania, fun fact about Tanzania, challenges faced in Tanzania when it comes to research, life in Tanzania as a student,
anything. We'll give you 5 minutes in the hot chair, and then Tanzania will come out of the hot chair, and then Kenya will come into the hot chair, and then the other countries will start asking the mentees from Kenya a few questions, okay? We decided to give each country 5 minutes, but I don't know if we can do that. So maybe just 2 minutes or 3 minutes each, very quickly, just to give mentees from other countries also a chance to unmute their mics, even for 2 minutes, so that we can hear from them. I would love to hear an Ethiopian accent, for instance, really, and I would really like all the other mentees from the other countries to start by saying mambo. Okay, let's challenge them with that. Sawa, eh? If you can hear me, mentees from other countries, the first challenge is you begin by coming in and saying mambo. That's it. Oh, who was that? Boa. Come on, guys. Boa. Okay, so let's put Tanzania on the hot chair. And then we'll start with Kenya. We'll ask a question. And then after Kenya asks a question, we'll go to Uganda. And then Rwanda, Ethiopia, we'll end with Nigeria, okay? Tanzania, be prepared to be on the hot chair. You'll choose someone, they'll ask a question, a representative from Tanzania will answer the question, okay? Kenya, start with the question. Boa. Come again?
Tanzania most proud of as a country?
What is Tanzania most proud of as a country? Who wants to represent Tanzania and answer that question?
Just a simple. We are proud having the people like Dr. Catherine.
Oh, that was too easy. Too easy. Okay, Catherine says there should be another answer. Somebody who wants to answer this question also? What are we most proud of as a country? There she is. Diana.
We as Tanzanians, we are very much proud of our peace, the peace that we have, the life that we live, the modern
Thank you. As Tanzanians, first, it's like we are living the future. You know, a lot of activism, they are like human rights, women rights, giving women opportunities, but we are living, it's a living dream that now we have a female president. So we are living the future. People thought that it won't be happen, but it happens. And another thing for us women, we know that it's possible. Consistence, hard work, the time, energy, focus, you can be whoever you want. You can come that far and go very far. So determination and courage. Thank you.
Ah, okay.
To have Pan-Africanist president like Prime Julius Nyerere. So I want to ask, is this a character that is exhibited in your school, or could you enlighten me on this spirit of Pan-Africanism in Tanzania?
Have we heard his question?
So I'm going to try reiterate his question. He's asking, Tanzania is known for having leaders who are Pan-Africanists, like Julius Kambarage Nyerere. So he's asking, is this something that people are being groomed on from the time they are at school, or how have we gotten to develop such kind of Pan-Africanism?
We have a hand.
So, talking of Pan-Africanism, I think, talking of Pan-Africanism, I think the cornerstone of all this attitude, and all how all the African countries act and their leaders, its basis comes from the former leaders that Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, we live for till by living the dream that they wish for their countries would look like, of Pan-Africanism, of what the sorry, I think they are non-Pan-Africanism trying to. So everything we do today as Pan-Africanists comes from from our former fathers. I mean, talking of our presidents, Kwame Nkrumah, the like. So I think that's the basic foundation of what Pan-Africanism is till today. Thank you.
Yes, that was a good question as well. Yes, it is true that we are groomed through that ideas of pragmatism and Pan-Africanist ideas of Mwalimu Nyerere, and that's why you can find even the successors like Benjamin Mkapa and the others have been the founders of other integration in Africa, particularly East African Community, in which we are championing too. And even you can see Tanzania today, we are members of SADC and whatever. So these are all ideas which comes from Mwalimu Nyerere trying to integrate Africa to be one, and that's why you can see that we are trying to do all of these. Also you can find current president, Madam Samia Suluhu, whom as I can learn that having a women president leads with humility, and that is the way I can use to describe her. You have seen that she's trying to go all over the continent to meet with other presidents, and recently she was in South Africa, trying all to bring together the people of Africa together so that we can address our problems as Africans. So this shows how Mwalimu Nyerere sees that he planted continues to grow through his success. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Ethiopia. Ethiopia, ask your one question, and then Nigeria will ask their one question, and then Kenya is on the hot chair.
respond to questions by asking a question.
That's a nice one. When you ask a Tanzanian a question, they will respond by asking you another question. What time should we leave? What time do you think we should leave?
Another fun fact from Tanzania. If anyone from outside Tanzania is contesting for anything, and the only means of winning is being voted through social media, they are going to win.
So we are removing Tanzania from the hot chair. We are officially placing Kenya on the hot chair. So we are going to start asking questions to Kenya. Kenyan reps, are you ready? You are literally repping your country right now. So get ready. Tanzania will start with the first question for Kenya. Anybody wants to know anything about Kenya, Kenyans, Kenyan mentees?
So I would like to know what's the most rewarding part of being Kenyan. What's the most rewarding part of being a Kenyan?
I think the most rewarding part of being Kenyan is just being a Kenyan. There is no nothing that I can say that really makes me more proud than just being a Kenyan. Yeah. I think they are the most, if you allow me, the proudest people in Africa, in the world, the proudest people. We come up with, we have the freedom we have in Kenya cannot compare it with the freedom in other countries or in anywhere. We have freedom to say whatever you want to whoever you want to do whatever you want. Yeah.
Hi, mambo everyone. Mambo. My name is Naomi Kibet, and just adding what Otieno has said, I think he's forgetting that when you mentioned Kimbia, yani athleticism, everybody knows that all people who run are from Kenya. So I think that's something that makes it proud. Nobody competes with us when it comes to running. Oh, except Ethiopia, they come close.
Yeah, so Uganda, you can also ask.
I have something else. Also, in Kenya, you can hardly ever get depressed. Honestly, you go through challenges, but 2 weeks later, everyone is making memes, and everyone from 5 years old to my grandmother can relate to them. So it's never really a dull moment in this country. It's always very exciting and happy. Yeah.
So one more.
What as a fun fact about Kenyan hustle?
Hello, we think here that this is integration aspect.
What is a fun fact about Kenyan hustlers?
Fact about Kenyan what?
Hustlers. Maybe you can say what do you mean by hustlers?
Maybe to answer that quickly, the fun fact about being a Kenyan person is Kenyans are really hardworking, very hardworking, and Kenyans will do everything to get whatever they want. We are self-driven mostly, and it's known around the world that if you want something done quickly, call a Kenyan. They'll do it. They find a way to do it, however complex it may be. That is now the fun part of being a Kenyan, being a hustler, they say.
And we also never lose anything.
And also,
Next
actually have a song about our contact. If you understand Kiswahili, it's called Tabia za Wakenya by Negra. So you can listen to it afterwards. It has a lot of fun Kenyans and that most of them are actually true.
Thank you for sharing. I'll definitely try to listen to that song. Uganda, come shoot your question to the Kenyans. Anyone from Uganda?
Mambo.
Oh,
My question to Kenya is about their politics. Have really picked interest in it, right from the time they elected their president. I'm just wondering what is it with them that they now want the president out, yet they were so excited about him. So maybe someone there should clarify, because everyone in Twitter really wanted him in power. And now the same people want him out. So clarify more on this, because this is a very interesting country in terms of politics. Thank you.
Wow. Maybe if I can answer that. I think that is one of the most interesting things about Kenyans. Like I said, we do what we want, we say what we want. That's the freedom that we have in Kenya. So there's democracy in Kenya. There's democracy, and what happens is that in democracy, you like when you want a president, after the president gets in, you can say whatever, because they promise whatever they promise, they give timelines that they will deliver, then they fail to deliver within the timelines, and we Kenyans, we don't forget. So it's not that we don't want the president, we've just been reminded on what he promised and what he should be delivering to keep him up and not to make him lazy. Yeah, he needs to work and deliver on the promises. Yes, and it's about democracy.
I think Otieno is not being honest.
Yes,
Just
yes.
tell it as it is.
True, he's not being honest.
Not being honest, tell it as it is. So, as part of 6 million that voted for this president, I feel like I have been washed. In Kiswahili, that is kuoshwa. Because, so yesterday, I think yesterday was when it's the last stroke that broke the camel's back. Because yesterday, he appointed people who are political rejects, people who are old, people who have been governors before for like 2 terms, and he gave them positions that are supposed to be meant for the youth, for people who want to be mentored into the leadership. And I think that will cost us almost 1 billion every month just to pay them. And he's there telling us that when he was campaigning, he was saying that he would give those positions to mama bogas and boda people. So it's just tough. I voted for him, but I regret voting for him.
You also
Thank you so much. So for those countries that haven't asked a question to Kenya, can you, quickly ask your question? If there's no question, it's fine. Tanzania has already asked. Uganda. Or just tell us which country you're from.
My name is Victor. I'm from Nigeria, and I really like the accent of Kenyans. The last place that talking about Ambo, I really love the accent. So, my question, I would just want them to share with us their COVID-19 pandemic experience. How was it like? Their comment. Because actually it was like 2 years back, because when we got the first COVID cases reported in the country, people were a bit shocked. But it didn't last for 3 4 days, and then the schools were closed initially. Then it started to collapse everybody. But it felt like half more people were dying than it was actually being for. So at some point I guess the numbers of 80 people dying and 100 people. So there's actually serious about and so it was quite government. But things also lasted too long. But COVID was not that bad in the country. What was bad is the fact that it's really affected our economy, our businesses, our jobs, people lost their jobs. But we're doing okay, we bounced back quite okay. So it was not as bad as in other countries.
Also to add, actually it was actually baffling for us in
We will answer that question eventually. Let's just call this a meet and greet, very small chat. As we go on throughout the program, we have a whole year to know each other. Sindio? What is Sindio again? Is that right? Yeah? Isn't that right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, John. So, okay, let's remove Kenya from the hot chair. Let's put Uganda in the hot chair. Is that right? Was Kenya in the hot chair right now? Okay, Uganda, quickly onto the hot chair. Let's just, for the sake of time, let's just have 3 questions for Uganda.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
How does it feel not to have a former president? Like having one person leading you all years and years and years. How does it feel not to have a former president?
Somebody from Uganda, please take that attack from John.
We have former presidents. They are just before our time.
Mambo.
For
Can I be honest on this? Actually, it feels so bad. It feels like we need liberation. Like, honestly, I was born in 2000. I've never seen any other president apart from the current president. So, honestly, on my end and people I know, the people in my circle, we need liberation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Another question for Uganda.
I have a
question for Uganda. What is it with you and Swahili?
I have a similar question. I echo that.
Actually, let me answer that. After Swahili, one is that it is a language that is normally used by Uganda, okay, the people based EPDF, so the people who are into the people of the country. But also we got a challenge whereby sometimes I think it was the far back whereby people who are actually attacking people like thieves, they would actually use those written in Swahili word. So every time you use a Swahili word towards people, they think otherwise. So, but Swahili is good for, because we studied it in class, we studied Swahili, people who are to pursue it and become the language of practical medical profession. So for us, Swahili is always for help some of us who are different Swahili, but it's majorly used by the people in the military.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
The last question for Uganda before we put Rwanda in the hot chair.
Yes, a question. So, not political. What is it that Uganda is doing that we in Kenya is doing from in Kenya we are using technology to Uganda, which is that basically in Kenya we have political resources. So what is the secret in Uganda so that you have
Oh, I think I can answer this. Someone can also supplement. For us, so if people much as you have a coast near you and you have you have a different type of economy. For us, it is majorly agriculture, and we focus on growing food items. So because also of our kind of climate, so it is majorly agriculture that runs our economy. So that's why we have a lot of schools, varieties, roads. Yeah, sure. So it is all organized, having a lot of schools that are social. So that is what is just a little bit different.
Okay. Let's put Rwanda in the hot chair now. Rwanda. Have I heard anybody from Rwanda? Okay, 3 questions again for Rwanda. Baraka here has a question for somebody in Rwanda.
Hello. Yes. My friends from Rwanda, I have heard and have tried to read from different articles that Rwanda is doing well in terms of technological advancement. Is this true? And if so?
He said, is this true? And if it is true, what has made this to be so?
Good question.
Could you repeat that question, please?
I Yeah, I'm asking that I have read and have heard that Rwanda is making a good progress in terms of technological advancement in our region. Is this true? And if it's true, what has made this uniqueness for you compared to other countries in our region?
Thank you so much for the question. My name is Amon from Rwanda, and you're right, it's true. That's the first answer. Looking back at where Rwanda was from the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and where it is currently, there is no doubt that this progress is good and remarkable. And one of the things that made Rwanda achieve all these things, of course, we are a small country, but with bigger vision. And the first thing that brings Rwanda to this level of good progress at the continental level and even worldwide is being focused on what we do and get united, because before we had the issue of course, the tribes that could bring division, but now we are united, we are one country, we are speaking one language, we are doing one thing at a time, And this unity, focus, and discipline brings us to worldwide development and both progress, as the area said.
Okay, thank you. One other question for Rwanda?
I have a question.
Oh,
Typically,
John,
said-
was that...
Yeah, I have a question on about environment for a person from Rwanda. Kigali is said to be the cleanest city in Africa, if not one of the cleanest in the world. So I would like to know, how did they achieve this? Are the people seeing it as a responsibility to take care of the environment and live in a cleaner place? Or how did they own up? I know it was the initiative of the government at first, but how did they own up and come and to realize the dream of living in a plastic-free society, as I see it in publications?
Do you have any other Rwandan who attended, so I can follow this as well?
Another Rwandan rep to answer John's question.
All right, probably there is no any other one to answer question. Oh, there is someone who is coming. Really, but can you please answer?
Okay, thank you. My name is Gilbert Mwamyabagabo, and I would like to answer the question we've been asked. So, the Kigali is the cleanest city because the country and the government put up measures which must follow. But as the people, as the Rwandans, we are the ones who must make sure that we have to put those measures into place. So even due to we have the community work each month, which means that we have to clean our neighborhoods. That's where it comes. So each month we have to make sure that we are cleaning those neighborhoods, making every surrounding look better. So that's why we have to always be looking after the environment and our city so that can continue to look good. Even the plastic, we are not allowed to use them, as I have seen on news, like in Kampala we have many those plastic bags. In our country we don't use them. We use the biodegradable bags so that it cannot affect the environment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We are removing Rwanda now from the chair. Nigeria, you're on the hot chair now. Very quick questions for Nigeria.
I have a question for Nigeria, a hot one.
Thank you.
So, on a light note, really, you decided a 70, 80-year-old will become your president? What made you guys to elect him on a serious note? Light note also. A follow-up, you'll never win any Twitter wars with us Kenyans, just to let you know, because of your president.
Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Nigeria, that was a hot, not hot, light, not light question. Who wants to take this attack?
Okay, let me just. Somebody is already there.
Okay. Chief, you can continue. Okay, my name is.
Okay,
My
praise,
name is
maybe.
Hello?
Yes, go on. Gideon, go on.
Normally, Nigerian politics is very complicated, or let me not say complicated, complex. It always comes with a lot of intrigue, and all that. So most times before you can stand in chance of winning election in Nigeria, must have had a lot of experience, or people who have had a lot of experience when it comes to politics. Because at during political time, people get to be very active. Based on Nigeria is also a country with diverse culture and ethnicity, and also have factors like religion also has a lot to do with politics in Nigeria. So it makes it sometimes complicated to actually get what you want. Just for this last election, you find out that some particular aspect of Nigerians were actually routing for someone who was a bit younger, but to the other end, that was not what they were looking for. So at the end of the day, the highest, let me say, person who is able to play the politics. So most times the older people who have this interest, who have studied Nigerian politics, and they know how to probably divide the votes, know how to play the politics, because you must play politics in Nigeria if you ever become president. You must know how to do it. You just not just wake up. Apart from the fact that you might be credible, you might be good, but there's a case of so it's always other persons that
We are losing you, Gideon. We can't hear you. Okay, so maybe I think sufficiently understood Gideon. Just a quick last question for Nigeria, and then we end up with Ethiopia. Oh, Brian here has a question for Nigeria. You can go ahead and ask Brian.
My name is Jonas. I'm from Ethiopia. Uhaligani for my Tanzanian people. I think I said the accent right?
Yes.
I just want to say, actually, the question is on the table for everyone. Do you think Africans share common genetics as it comes to our ancestors and our fathers before? And I think Nigeria would be the first to answer that question, because I see that Kenyans, Kenyans and Ethiopians have the quality of running a longer miles and faster than any other African country. So I was asking myself, do we have genetics in common? So can someone just have me that clue?
Interesting question. Jonas was asking if any of do we think that we have any genetics in common, not just the countries that are present here, but all African countries. Do we have the same forebears? They are similar with with Kenya in terms of their running heroes, but do we think that there is something more common between all Africans throughout the continent in terms of our genetics? Maybe we have the same ancestors.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Victor, you came and you left.
Okay, I think we do have common ancestor. We are all black, and then that shows that we are all, we have the same ancestor. But then environment play a major role in our development. Environment in Kenya is different from the environment in Nigeria, and certainly there will be a change in some traits in our DNA. So that environment actually differentiates us, like somebody from Nigeria and somebody from Kenya or from Tanzania. Then I think we do have common ancestors. That's my view.
Thank you, Victor. Okay, we have to remove Nigeria now and finally put Ethiopia on the hot chair and just have one or two questions for them so that we can have the final session with Dr. Catherine and conclude our day. Ethiopia, you're officially on.
Ethiopians, there's a question for you here. What year is it in Ethiopia? We are in 2023. What year are you in?
We're in 2015 right now. We're like 7 years back.
Why is that gap though? Sisima. You're on mute, Sisima, if you're responding to this. Anyone from Ethiopia?
Yeah.
Just to... Okay.
Yes, Sisima, go ahead. Sisima, we are waiting for the answer. Why the difference? And we would also like to know what's the date today? What's the date, the month, and the year?
Okay, so today we're in 2015. We're like 7 years back, but I don't think we have any much progress with that. But it's because of our calendar is different from any other African, and from the world in general, and then we have different dates as well. And today, right now, we are on the 6th month of, in our country, in our local days, we're on the 6th month of the year in 2015.
Yeah, I just want to add some points on that. The thing is, Ethiopians as a people were never colonized, and the calendar that they have brought from the birth of Christ has been going on and on to this day. So as the world just continues in its own time, the Ethiopian calendar works on a different path and on a different counting points or counting dates. So I think the major one that influences the calendar is that it has never been influenced by the Europeans that were colonizing many African countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think that also counts as a fun fact about Ethiopia that at least I never knew. Thank you so much for that. Last question for Ethiopia, and then we close this hot chair session.
I have a question for Ethiopia.
Who are you and where are you?
I'm Fiona from Kenya, and I'm asking, why is it that Ethiopia barely imports textile products like fabric and all that?
Fiona, I didn't get you. Can you make it clear?
I'm asking, why is it that Ethiopia does barely imports its textile products, let's say like fabric, like fabric and threads, such?
Okay. Why not other products?
Like, why do you barely import textile products?
I think to elaborate, Jonas.
Question?
Yeah, I just. Yeah. So the thing is, Ethiopians have a lot of cattle and sheep and many other animals that are recommended for use of the human being, and the amount of cattle and the amount of animals that we have makes us that gives us the advantage that we can have to use for clothes and for any other materials like bags and shoes. So we barely import animal products or animal leather textiles because we have like 5 or 6, I think, fabrics in Ethiopia that are making these textiles and that are exporting to other countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We saw Kulsma really wanted to add something for a while. Let's just give Kulsma a chance at least to share what you wanted to share.
Had said everything that I was thinking of saying. He explained it very well. I have nothing to add.
Really?
Yes, I think maybe I can add that people in, most of our population is in the rural areas, and people in the rural areas make their own clothes. We have our own traditional clothes, and mostly they use that clothes instead of, imported products from the outside markets. I think that contributes to, our lack of importing textile as well.
Thank you so much. Okay, everyone. I would like to thank you for taking part in this activity. It's a nice beginning to a journey of getting to know each other as a family of the CREMES Research Mentorship Program. So a round of applause for everyone involved. Thank you. And without further ado, we'll let Catherine jump into the last session, which is on work ethics and becoming a successful research consultant.
Very quickly, ili mweze kustretch, tulipanga kumaliza saa 7 kamili, 7:30 was our maximum. And this is a very professional place. They keep time. Lakini wamesema watatupa muda kidogo kwa sababu tulichelewa kuanza for like 1 hour. Kwa hiyo wata extend kidogo. Na sisi pia inabidi tuwe wavumilivu. Tulichelewa 1 hour. We are planning to finish saa 8. Tulichelewa sana na robo. Lakini wamesema kuna wale watu ambao wanataka kula au kuchukua coffee ili wale wadada waweze kuclear na others can use the time to go to the washroom. So 5 minutes, go out, grab the coffee or water or anything. Kuna vitu vimebaki pale kwa wale ambao njaa imeanza kuuma ili waweze kuclean au waweze kuondoka wale wadada, tumeombwa hivyo. And then you come back. The next session will be mine. I'll try to use muda mfupi sana kwa sababu most of the things tutakumbushana as we go through the program. Other countries, I am so sorry. That's Catherine. I am so sorry. It's because what I was saying as well is mostly for the people here, but obviously it concerns you as well because you're going to have to give us like just 5 minutes. The people want to clear outside the tea and coffee, so they are requesting us to go and, grab something very quickly. So as I'm speaking without taking more time, maybe the team here can do that and use the time as well to go to the washroom. And you guys in other countries can stretch 5 minutes. And then when we come back, I'll use 20 minutes to go through the last session. The ethics session will be given online as the first session through the program. We'll skip it today in the interest of time. Okay? Thank you, asanteni sana. I hope you can understand that. And when I face like this, I'm facing the screen. I want to look at your faces too as I'm speaking, and you are looking at my back. Na nyie mkaende kunywa maji huko mliko. Trying to look at them.
cannot offend me. I don't need to prove nothing. I believe so much in myself, and I have a bulletproof mind. When I go out there.
Hi, my name is Angela Mburu, and I am vying for treasurer.
Wanna keep calling your name until you come back home. I just wanna keep calling your name until you come back home. Calling your name until you come back home. I just wanna keep calling your name until you come back home. This night is cold in your kingdom. I can feel you fade away. From the kitchen to the bathroom sinking. Your steps keep me awake. Don't cut me down, throw me out. Let me hear the waste flowers with some man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of a cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy out there can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Cold skin to my feet on the tile as I'm walking down the corridor. And I know we haven't talked in a while, so I'm looking for an open door. Don't cut me down, throw me out, let me hear these flowers with some man with dignity and grace. Now I'm slipping through the cracks of a cold embrace. So please, please, could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy out there can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. And I can't stop myself from falling down. 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 Could you find a way to let me down slowly? A little sympathy out there can show me. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. Let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down, let me down, down, let me down, down, let me down. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. If you wanna go, then I'll be so lonely. If you're living, baby, let me down slowly. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens.
I can't hear you, Joe. International conference.
Yahoo.
Scholarship.
Yahoo. Yeah. Yahoo.
Think it's funny, but honey, can't run this show on your own. I can feel my body shake. There's only so much I can take. I'll show you how a real queen behaves. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't take me. And you might think I'm weak without a soul, but if I had one, it'd be bigger than yours. If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. It's so rainy, then baby, magic and make it a world you won't forget. No damsel in distress, don't need to save me. Once I stop breathing fire, you can't tame me. And you might think I'm weak without a soul, but I'm stronger than I ever was before. Follow the kings, had their queens on the throne. We will pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own. Just the king can move one space at a time, but queens are free to go wherever they like. You get too close, you'll get a royalty high. So breathe it in to feel the love.
Hello? Hello, hello. Thank you. So we are continuing with our last session, and I'm gonna try to do it in 20 minutes. That's very ambitious, and let's see. Most of the things that I will tell you, these are things that we are going to live, like practice on a daily basis, because can someone mute people? Maybe Isabel, you can. But I made you a host as well, so you can do it. You managed? Mentees in other countries, can you make sure your microphone is on mute, please? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. No. Am I? Can you hear me? In other countries, can you hear me? We told them to be on mute. Okay. Thank you. So work ethics and professionalism. Yeah, let me put the stopwatch so that I can manage to be on time. So this next session is very important. I'm not sure whether other countries are able to see the slides. I hope they can. Can you type in the chat box to let us know that you are able to see the slides? I'm out. My internet is down. I think this is from my phone. We don't have time for technology failure. Okay. So the internet I'm using is actually, is through guest. Should I use from my phone? But if somebody makes a call, it's going to be a challenge. Let's hope no one calls me. So I'm connecting. Okay, I'm back online. I'm going to try and share my screen again. works better. Yeah. Okay. So I hope other countries can see my slides as well. So work ethics and other key ingredients for a successful career. Most of the things that I'm going to be sharing, I have already touched upon them when I was giving my initial talk. So I'll be very quick and just give you maybe like 2-3 minutes to ask any burning questions you may have. So these I've said already that we want to become the cream of research, not only in Tanzania but in Africa. I have already said the objectives. Let's go straight to the key ingredients for a successful career. As I said, I'll be very quick. So there are 4 key things that are very, very important when it comes to having a successful career. In order to succeed in anything, you must be passionate. This is very important. If you don't enjoy doing research, you shouldn't be here because you will never be successful. Number 2, to succeed, you must set goals from the beginning. I told you I was rejecting some opportunities because I knew what I wanted to do. Goals. Focus. Don't be distracted. The current world is very destructive. There are so many opportunities. You have to know what you want to achieve and don't allow distractions. And this also means on a daily basis. Social media is great. It can be a huge distraction. Perseverance. There are very hard times. It won't be smooth. We'll try to help you as much as we can, but we can assure you success is not easy. So it needs perseverance. So who have a passion to become a consultant? Can you raise your hand? A researcher, a research consultant? Okay, I am talking to the right group of people. Was just checking. Yeah, so let me excite you very quickly about working as a consultant. For me, it suited me a lot because I get bored doing the same thing every day. So you get to work on different research topics. You get to work with different people, nationalities. It's quite exciting. Today I've worked with research. Hello? More than 15 countries, more than 30 organizations. It's really interesting. They're all different. You learn different things every time. It's exciting, I can assure you. You get to travel to different regions. I think my team has been to almost all regions of Tanzania. Recently they were in Zanzibar. We've been to Pemba, Unguja. So if you love traveling, my friend, actually this is our vehicle. One of our field vehicles. So we were somewhere that is a road. So we'll get to experience. If you do well, there's a possibility of traveling abroad as well for meetings and presentations. I've been in different worlds, been sent by clients to present their study. I'm still working on my presentation skills. I think this is obvious. I don't need to say more about it. We'll work on it together. And you are assured of career development based on your performance. Okay? So as a consultant, you are managing yourself. You are not limited on what you can achieve. You learn new skills, you get new clients, you raise your income. That is exciting. I'm not going to share my daily rate. You can ask me. But it's comfortable. Thank you. It's twice from where I started. You get paid in dollars usually. Some people are excited by money, right? Yes. Yes. My daily rate is more than 1 million a day. People are paid 2 million a day. 3, 4. Kuna watu wanalipwa $1,000 kwa siku as consultants. No, it's true. I know some people who have that rate. So if you love money, push and become the best at what you do. People are ready to pay for quality and professional services because they are very rare. So wengi. There are not many. Now, what are the key ingredients for a successful career? Commitment to high quality deliverables. This goes without saying, guys. There are so many mediocres in the market. I told you before that there are so many consultants, but a lot of them are not doing quality work. There are ways that you can do quality work, and I'm going to touch upon them, a few ways that you can achieve that today, but I will keep reminding each other through the program. It's not easy, it's doable. About commitment to meeting clients' deadlines. The two goes together, but quality comes first. Don't rush and send mediocre reports. You think you've met the deadline, the client is not coming back. Request for an extension, submit quality work, you'll be remembered. Okay? Consistency. It's not about what you do once that makes a difference. It's what you do consistently. I love that statement. I want all of you to remember it. Consistency is where people fail. They do it very well the first time. The second time, they keep going down until when they have no clients. It's very common for consultants because the moment you do very well, clients start coming to you. The more clients you have, the more challenging it becomes to manage them and deliver high quality consistently. And this is part of the course I'm going to deliver next week, because that's what I was told when I was starting, fortunately. Consistency. People start copy and pasting things from previous work instead of thinking and being creative, and it doesn't work. But ability to learn and adapt, you'll be working on different assignments. Oh my God, I have been reading a lot. Like every time it's a new research topic, you have to learn. You should be ready to read, to learn and adapt. Each client has unique needs. As a consultant, you are not supposed to do things your way. You have to listen to what the clients want. You can advise, but you cannot decide. Yes, I said I would say a little bit about how to achieve high quality deliverables. It's just knowing what needs to be done from the client by paying attention to details through all sorts of communications. They're going to share the scope of work, but that will not be final. They'll keep changing. They'll be communicating things via emails, via online meetings. I do have something I call keynotes for activity implementation. Every time I see something on the email, I note it down. Every time I see something, the client says something randomly in a meeting, I put it down. That's what they want to see. Because by the time they're writing the scope of work, sometimes they do it in a rush. They have not thought through the activity 100%. So your attention to details as the activity goes on is what will differentiate you from other consultants. But you have to have the needed skills for each assignment. If you feel the assignment you don't have sufficient skills to perform it to the best quality possible, don't take it. That's some of the key things that you need to remember. Now, meeting deadlines, wow, I went through a lot being able to achieve this, especially when the clients started coming. One of the challenges, I was being too ambitious. Most of the consultancies, they want them done like casual. We are being told to write an article in like 2 weeks, and now we are finalizing data collection. So being realistic. So I tell them we will try our best, but this is not realistic. Don't commit to something that is not realistic. You set expectations that the client won't like you. Let me ask you, if somebody tells you they are going to deliver your, let's say, those who goes to maybe fix vehicles, they tell you they'll do it in 2 days, and then they don't do it in that time. And a person who tells you will take 1 week and deliver actually in that 1 week. Which one do you prefer, the first or second? It's the same with consultancy, and that's a mistake that I made. I became realistic, and I told clients this is not possible. And they know that you are not working full time for them. So you need to be able to communicate. I'll try to be brief. Negotiate for timelines and communicate in advance. Request for extensions in advance of the deadline. Very common, the deadline is there, you're quiet. And the client, you're going to be working with international clients. They set schedules in advance. So if you don't deliver something today, it's already on their schedule to review. So 2 days before, tell them this, and this is what you're going to be practicing when we're working together. So we are going to be your client as CREMES International. So when I say the client for you right now, it's us. Okay? So tell us if you need an extension. This is exactly what I was. And if I put flight mode, the internet will go away. Yeah, okay. I hope I'm still online. So yeah, just communicate in advance. But we are going to be reminding each other of these things. Yeah? We are going to practice them. It's not easy, but it can be done. And consistency. This is very common in African setting. When you get a bigger client who gives more money, you unamchukulia poa. Other countries, the other one ambayo who is not paying good money. That is common, it's bad. The moment you take a job, it doesn't matter whether it pays you 1/3 of all other jobs. The moment you commit, it has to be done under the same quality. Even if it involves rejecting a bigger assignment in order to deliver on that small assignment, it is the right thing to do. It's not easy. But if you do that, you'll stand out. And clients will be running. Small clients, from my experience, they refer big ones. As I told you, sometimes you have to volunteer like we did recently and got acknowledged in last night's summit. It's the same. We did it was for free, but Gallus, that was the highest level of professionalism. He was not paid anything to do this. Nothing, zero. Zero. But there was no difference as compared to when we were working on Boresha Afia project where he was being paid as a consultant. So some people are already living the principle. I'm so proud of what you did. Yesterday we were sent a report and a short notice by WIMA, Women Management Africa, to approve. What time did I send the report to you? Yeah, it was around 5 in the evening. And the CEO wanted feedback like the same evening because the event was in the morning. So he had to leave what he was doing, went through the report and gave feedback, which was very helpful, picked up some mistakes in numbers. Yeah, the person who was doing the formatting missed some things, including information for the organization. Continuous learning new topics. I don't know even what same expectations, why it is there. Sorry. So the key skills for a successful career as a research consultant. Now, I was talking about the key ingredients, and here are some of the key skills that you are going to consistently practice. Communication skills, interpersonal skills, team working skills, multitasking and priority setting, and time management. These are the 5 skills that we identified as crucial. We are going to send these slides to you. Just listen to me for now, okay? So the communication skills, this is a continuous process. I'm still learning how to communicate, especially in this foreign language. You can see I'm struggling. And as a professional, you need to communicate clearly. I always admire ladies, let me say ladies, because those are the ones that pay more. They are my role models. How some of the ladies, the way they communicate is very powerful. Even yesterday, you could tell the difference in the summit. When somebody tends to speak, they just grab your attention. And others, you're like, where's my phone? So let's keep practicing on how to actually grab people's attention. But there are 5 C's for impactful communication. You have to speak with clarity. Make sure whatever you're communicating is clear. Conciseness. Did I say that correctly? Thank you. They help me with my pronunciation sometimes. Completeness, concreteness, correctness. We'll go into details of these when we have time. not today, but those are all very important. There are 5 things that starts with C, but they are very important but different. These are other key things that you can practice. I like to reply to emails within 24 hours. Clients love it. And there are things that you can do to achieve that. Sometimes you open an email when you don't have time. When it's open, you can't see kwamba it's unread, and then you miss it. And then they send a follow-up email just because you were curious to know and you didn't have time to reply. It's a very common mistake I used to do. For later actions, acknowledge receipt of the email and say when you will act on it. And I usually put it on my to-do list. This is a topic for another day. You must have your to-do list that you revisit every day. If you are serving multiple clients, at times serving like 10 clients at once of activities of different sizes, and I have to make sure I'm attending to all of them. It's not possible if you don't have a to-do list. And if I don't put something on my to-do list, it's very hard for me to remember. It's one of the very, very helpful tools that we are going to teach you on how to use. Interpersonal skills, Jacques started his talk by saying hoki no poka, and this is what he was referring to. Humble, kind, down-to-earth, polite, caring of others. This is our motto in the program. Humbleness, oh my God, is a big problem. Most of us, we don't. The ego, I'm still learning. But being humbleness is powerful. No matter how much skills you have, no matter where you are, career-wise, life-wise, when you are humble, people like to work with you. It's the same as down to earth, being kind to others, polite and caring of each other. Together, we achieve more. Everyone achieves more. I think this goes without saying. So in every assignment, we will be working as teams. Multitasking is what I was just saying. Being able to use that chat, knowing what is important and urgent is very critical. So something that is important and urgent, you do it immediately. And that's where the to-do list, my to-do list has color codes. There are red things where they need to be done today. There are blue things that need to be done. They are important but not urgent. And I plan for them. And there are things that are urgent. I delegate. They need to be done immediately. They may not be that important. That's why I delegate them. And there are things that are not important and not urgent, like checking social media. You eliminate them. Or something that like, it shouldn't be done this year. It's not a priority. You eliminate them. So this chart, you have to learn how to use it. Priority setting is something I learned. As a consultant, you have to do it. You'll be having a lot to do. Time is your biggest asset as a consultant. It will determine your career, how fast you get where you want to be, how much you earn. Consultant, we don't have a salary. The more time you invest, how efficient you work, the better you can eliminate distractions, the more money you make, and the more efficient you climb the ladder. That I can assure you. This is an example of my to-do list. I'm happy you can't read it. So the color codes I was talking about are those, and those are like different projects. Right now, I have improved it. Continuous improvement is very important. I use an Excel. I used to use a Word version. Right now, I use an Excel, and each sheet is a different project. And then the first Excel has all the projects. If there are 10, they're like all of them, so that I know when I open, like, because you can forget to open a sheet. So you know all these projects which is happening now. Like then you start opening all the sheets, and then every sheet has the color code. You highlight in red things that needs to be done like immediately. And they have a date, timelines. That is a goal. You don't set a goal, things don't get done. You keep postponing. So you push yourself to set goals. Information, you need to be conversant with some of the modern common technologies. It's no longer an option, it's a must if you want to work with international organizations. Things like what we are doing right now, you saw that we struggled a little bit. Zoom, meeting, they have online, a lot of things. But we will learn together. As I said, I'm going to be very quick. Work ethics at our working place, very, very important. This also, we give it high priority. One of our priorities is to make sure that everyone is comfortable, is happy. If you're working with me, I hate seeing people sad. I stress them with deadlines sometimes. It's something that we are working on, but as a consultant, it's very challenging because sometimes there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. But I love seeing people happy. So let's create a positive and healthy working environment. We'll learn together how to do that and promote friendly relationships and maintain a positive public image when it comes to CREMES. Okay? So how do we do that? We have to respect each other. We all have different views. We respect each other's views. And discipline, integrity, being reliable, all these are workplace ethics. Tutaendelea kukumbushana. We'll keep reminding each other. These are very, very important. No one wants to work with somebody who is not reliable. And you will struggle when you have more clients. You treat everyone with respect. We don't insult, and we respect people's private lives. Kati ya vitu ambavyo they destroy, among things that destroy relationships, from my knowledge, is bringing things that are not related to work at the workplace. Let's live private lives where it belongs, okay? Unless somebody volunteers. So this is something that we don't like and we stress a lot, okay? Discipline, persistence, reliability, timekeeping, trustworthy obedience. These are things that I think they're very much related. Integrity is being able to do what you are supposed to do even when nobody's watching. That's how I define it. Integrity. So whether I'm there or not, you do the same thing. Whether your client is there or not, these are values. These are internal values. In the interest of time, I'm going to go very quickly, as I said. Being reliable, being able to let people, believe. You deliver what you promise when you promised you would. That is being reliable. In conclusion, don't promise what you cannot deliver, number one. Don't take jobs that you don't have the skills or time to do. That's one of the biggest mistakes. So both in terms of quality, which is related to skills, but timelines, which are related to the time now. Have a constant passion to improve. Constant improvement. You must be able to love to learn, read. Always aim for overperforming. And if you cannot overperform, at least do exactly what is expected of you. Don't underperform as a consultant, because in no time you'll be out of market. If you are still a mentee, you'll be surprised that we are not recommending you to anyone and we are not calling you for activities. I must tell you, it's true. That's how we operate. If you're not reliable, we cannot work with you. Underperformance does not have a place in the current market. It is highly competitive. People are aggressive. So the moment you don't do what you're supposed to do, nobody works with you. They go to someone else. So, and this is what I like to finish it. You either do it or don't. There is nothing in between. You either do it or... Thank you. I invite like 2-3 burning questions before we conclude by signing some contracts. I assure you we'll go into details of this in action. So don't worry if any of them is not clear. I know everyone is tired, so I'm going to stop here. And Maybe you can lead the next session, Irene or Isabel. So we have prepared a 1-year contract that I would like everyone to sign. You can read. In summary, you are going to start immediately supporting activities as they happen. So we usually sign our annual contract because the activities are rated differently. So there are research activities that pay differently. We do have rates. We'll take you through that in another session online. Like the rates we pay for different activities, the standard rates, but there are a lot of activities that people have limited resources, clients, and we have started checking them so that you guys can practice. Okay? So we'll be communicating the rates for each activity, and this involves any of the activities that Isabella mentioned this morning. If you are okay with the rate and you have time, you can sign up, and of course if you have the skills needed to do it. So the contract is just for you to tell us that you'll be able to work with us, and I'll give you time to read it. At the end you'll find that there's a data confidentiality agreement, and also you have a data quality and data quality agreement, data quality and professionalism agreement, and data confidentiality agreement. So for people in other countries, we are going to send you these as soft copies so that you can sign. But for you guys here, it's helpful to sign them today. It's easier than sending them to you later. So I'm going to pause there. Feel free to ask any question you have in the contract. We'll clarify. Yeah, that's a good question. For the people online, the signing of the contract will just take like, I think, 5 minutes. Will be good to close together. I don't think it's a long process. So please stay online if you can, but if you don't have to. We are almost done here. So if you have something more important or urgent, we can allow you to leave us now. But it would be great to put you on the screen and say goodbye at the end, for those who can stay behind. And for those who had some questions about what's coming, let me watch the camera. What's coming, we are going to communicate via the WhatsApp groups and emails. So you'll get the schedule. You'll be told when we are going to have our first online session. So just stay tuned, and we'll communicate everything.
Okay, so yeah, you are supposed to have 2 of them, for those who are asking. So you will sign one, and then you sign both. You keep the other, and then you leave the other with us. So I think there are others who got a copy. So you'll leave us with the original, and then you'll go home with the copy.
Hello. So the people who are online, can you like, we're trying to get a picture with all of you. Oh, I'm giving them my back. We are trying to get a picture with all of you. So please put on your videos. So yeah. Oh, nice to see you all. Put on your videos so you can take a picture.
So we are closing. We are closing. People from other countries. Let me take this opportunity first of all to thank you for being here, for your patience, and to our host for the patience as well. We have come to the end of our launch event. Before we leave, I just wanted to introduce this beautiful lady here. She was also a mentee in the previous batch. So alumni. Unfortunately, she will just say hello in the interest of time. She was working today, but she was kind enough to come and just witness this. And she's one of our success stories as well. She's now working as a
evidence and insight manager, unaweza kusema research manager at an organization called Gali Effect. So I'm heading the department of research.
So, and I think I recommended you for that post.
Yes, you did.
I was just checking. So,
hello guys. Just like Dr. Catherine has said, alumni. I'm so happy to be an alumni. My name is Adela Naali, and I'm a CREMES mentorship, a mentor, a mentee now. Probably I'm going to be a mentor, mentoring you guys in some of the sessions, hopefully. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I remember the first day I was in a session like this, I said, I want this. And all I can say is for those believers who believes that you're in a certain position for a certain purpose, today, maybe you're here for a certain purpose. So make sure you're proactive knowing what your purpose is. What has led you to be here today, so you can be where you are, you want to be, or where God wants you to be. So good luck, guys. I was here, I'm still here, and one thing I will tell all of you is that throughout this journey that I'm still continuing, because I still work with CREMES Mentorship Program as a consultant from time to time, is sharing. You guys, you come from a professional world. Share with each other. What has led me to be here is because I do share what I have with others. So I believe each and every one of you has something to share. So you're going to learn, but you're also going to be sharing with others. So I'll also be here to share with you guys. Happy to be here. Best of luck with the mentorship program. I see some few people I know. I know that lady, I know that guy, and I know my former boss. I introduced the CREMES Mentorship Program to her, and let me tell you something about the CREMES Mentorship Program. You're really going to live what Dr. Kathleen has been saying here. Those ingredients, you're going to leave them each and every day, and that is what is going to make you successful. Just like I am, just like what you will be. Thank you.
Thank you, Adela. That was the best finishing of the day, right? Another testimonial. So I think we should now say goodbyes. People in other countries, can you say something in Swahili as goodbye? Let's challenge them one last time. Are you still there? Can you put them on the screen? Just say anything, wave your hands, and say goodbye in Swahili. All of you, together, whatever you say.
Heri ya kuonana.
Kwaheri. Asanteni sana for making time to attend this event. We are going to see a lot of each other. I hope everyone enjoyed it as we did. So thank you so much, and we can still chat. There's a coffee shop downstairs. You all saw it. I'll sit there for like 20 minutes, half an hour. If anyone wants to say anything to me, it's your time now. Okay? So thank you guys once again. Asanteni sana.
Asante kwa kutualika.
I made you think that I would always stay. I said some things that I should never say. I broke your heart like someone did to mine. And now you won't love me for the second time. I don't know why I run away. Oh girl, I'll make you cry when I run away. Go take me back, 'cause I wanna stay. Save your tears for another. Save your tears for another day. Save your tears for another day. I don't know why I run away. I make you cry when I run away.
Need a boy who can cuddle with me all night. Keep me warm, let me long, be my sunlight. Tell me lies, we can argue, we can fight. Yeah, we did it before, but we'll do it tonight. An afro black boy with the gold teeth, dark skin looking at me like you know me. Wonder if he got the G or the B. Let me find out and see you coming over to me. Yeah, these days I'm way too lonely. I'm missing out, I know. These days I'm way too long, and I'm known for giving all away. But I want someone to love me, and I need someone who needs me. 'Cause it don't feel right when it's late at night and it's just me and my dreams. Someone to love, yeah, that's what I fucking want. No, it's harder to find in these times, but I got nothing but love on my mind. I need a baby with love in my prime. Need an adversary to my down to marry. Like, tell me that's life when it's stressing at night. Be like, you'll be okay and everything is alright. Let me in the thing, 'cause I'm not wanting anything but your love in your body and a little bit of your brain. These days I'm way too lonely. I'm missing out, I know. These days I'm way too long, and I'm known for giving love away. But I want someone to love me, and I need someone who needs me. 'Cause it don't feel right when it's late at night and it's just me and my dreams. Someone to love, that's what I fucking want. Someone who loves me, I need someone who needs me. Because it don't feel right when it's late at night and it's just me and my dreams. I want someone to love, that's what I fucking want. Been sitting eyes wide open behind these four walls.